Do you believe the great state of New Jersey will, because of this bill, wake up, cut its taxes to avoid its higher-end residents leaving?
Well, I think we certainly need to cut taxes in New Jersey. We can't afford to raise them. And with what we're facing now with a tax hike bill that just passed, our taxes, of course, are going to go up and our property values are going to go down. I think you pointed out this is the first time this has been done in a purely partisan way, and I think we see the results. It's an attack on a few of our states like New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, and we're paying the bill for all these moocher states, and I'm obviously very concerned about the impact.
Yeah, you know, listen, we pointed that out yesterday, Congressman Zeldin, that this is, according to modern history, the first tax overhaul bill ever done purely on a partisan line in the history of this country. You can't do anything about it now. And you're in D.C., but do you believe the New York state government is going to have to get smarter? Otherwise, guess what's going to happen? Break out the U-Haul, get on the thruway south, and I'll see you in North Carolina.
Well, two things. One is, yes, they absolutely have to, whether it is at the state level or if it's even local governments. Like 70% of my property taxes are school taxes. We have 123 school districts on Long Island. But we have to understand that the reason why our state and local tax deduction is so high is because our state and local taxes are so high. I would say this, while I support fully maintaining the SALT deduction, as I know my colleague does as well, for me, if you were to talk about what is better policy, if you're going to make a change, it's not that you're putting a bill on the president's desk on Christmas and telling a governor or Mayor de Blasio, you need to fix this by New Year's. That's not just an unreasonable request, that's an impossible request. If you're going to make a change, you phase it down over 2, 3, 4+ years to a number that fully protects middle-income itemizers. That's better policy. That's what should have gotten done here.
So Congressman Gottheimer, you know, this is passed. So what can we do now? We were speaking to the governor-elect of your state of New Jersey earlier today on CNBC, and he said that there could be a legal challenge that he would be willing to partake in of this tax bill. Do you see a way forward on that? And on what grounds could you bring a case? Could you actually challenge this once it becomes signed into law?
You know, we've put some of the best lawyers together right now to look at that. There's equal protection claims, possibly. I think we need to explore every single way to make sure we actually cut taxes and deal with this in New Jersey so we don't start to lose businesses and people fleeing our state to other states. You know, this is a huge shift to these moocher states on our backs, and what I'm worried about is what do we do to actually give relief to people in New Jersey, and what are we going to do in property values?
You're going to fight it? You're going after the equal protection issue, or you're going to push your state and local governments to lower taxes? What is it?
Well, I think you got to look at everything. We certainly now are going to deal with the fact that taxes are going to go up. So what are we going to do in the state to actually give tax relief and tax cuts to people, one? And then two, I think we've got to pursue every single legal challenge possible to see what we can do from an equal protection standpoint.
I think this is all of the above. Are you guys relieved that now there is some reason to force local and state governments to not keep raising taxes? I mean, this is it. They've already started to wake up. We've already heard from local congresspeople across the country from different states saying, holy smokes, that bill we were going to do, that tax hike we were going to do, we can't do it anymore, right? Just happened here in the city of New York. Finally, there's something that's going to stop these people.
Well, so all levels of government need to be working on tax relief. I'll tell you, in my district, I'm on the east end of Long Island. We're not voting for Mayor de Blasio. We don't have a vote for mayor of New York City. We, in my district, Governor Cuomo doesn't win. We didn't vote for Hillary Clinton in the 1st Congressional District. So these policies that have been enacted adversely impacting my constituents, they're kind of jammed up in the crosshairs here. We're not just talking about Democratic voters. I'm also here fighting for middle-income Trump voters. People who, when they were voting in November of 2016, they had an expectation of tax relief that was going to benefit them. And so I want all levels of government to be working on tax relief. I love the fact that there would be any type of reason to have added pressure to provide additional tax relief. It's just really important for us to be fighting for our districts, fighting for our state, understanding that some other congressman in some other state, they're not going to do that for us. If we're not fighting for our districts and state, no one is going to be able to do that for us.
You can't have both, right? That's the problem. You can't have both. You can't fight to keep the deduction for your constituents and at the same time force an incentive onto the very people who keep raising their taxes, right? I mean, that's it. There's a trade-off in life.
Oh, I disagree, and I'll just say real quickly before I turn it over to my colleague. If you had a $20,000 cap or a $25,000 cap, for example, in my district, you're now fully protecting pretty much every middle income itemizer. You still have to reduce taxes because those high earners in New York City and in 4-hour state, they're providing so much of what goes to our state coffers, and they are becoming more mobile. This is, by the way, this is an exodus that isn't starting on, in December of 2017. New York State lost 2 seats the last congressional census, last time there was a census, because of population loss. That's been going on for a long time.
You think they would have learned, right? But they don't.
Can I make an additional quick point? The SALT states, the top 10 tax-paying states pay 40% of the bill right now. Suddenly, their taxes are going to go up, people in my state, because of this tax hike bill, and property values are going to go down. So here's what I'd also say, and I've introduced legislation to this. You look at a place like Mississippi that gets back $4.38 for every dollar they send to the federal government. We get back 33 cents. That's the legislation that's got to be next introduced and say, hold on a second. If you're in Jersey or in New York, you should get a tax credit to actually equal things out here so that we're not paying the bill for all these moocher states that keep taking our money.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.